Hi guys, so today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to bake and decorate sugar cookies. So to start off, we're going to be starting with the dry ingredients, which I've already pre-portioned everything. So first we have 1.5 cups of flour, and we're going to be sifting it together with, I've already put together 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So we're just gonna put that in here. I'm just gonna sift it all together. All right. And then we'll come. All right, so I set aside all the dry ingredients. So now we're gonna start with the wet ingredients. So on the side, I combined a cup of butter and a cup of sugar, and it was pretty loud, so I just did it on the side. So now we're gonna put this in the bowl. And you just wanna make sure it's combined to where it becomes light. And then in this bowl, we have 1 egg and a tablespoon of milk. And then we're gonna combine that. Okay, so once you have that combined, now we're going to slowly start adding in the dry ingredients. And you can either use an electric mixer or I'm just using a hand whisk, either one works. And you'll slowly start combining it, mix a little, and then add in more and mix until it's all combined. Another thing to add, if it starts getting a little like this and it's difficult to combine, you can always just go in with your hands and start kneading it with your hands, and it'll become a little bit softer and easier to combine. Okay, so now that it's all combined, if it gets a little too difficult to use a whisk or a spatula, I just put some flour on my hands and started kneading it with my hands. And now we have this nice ball shape. So I'm actually going to put it in a smaller bowl so that it's easier to put in the refrigerator and it's a little bit smaller. So we're just gonna put it in here, and we are going to just put some press and seal over it, completely cover it just like this, and we're gonna stick it in the refrigerator for 1 to 2 hours and let it rest before we roll it all out to cut some shapes out of it, and then we'll put it in the oven to cook them. So I'll be back then. Okay, so it's been about 1.5 hours now, and I just took the dough out of the refrigerator. So now we're going to start rolling it out. But first we're gonna put some flour out on the counter so it doesn't stick to it. And I'm actually gonna sift it so it's not all clumpy when it goes onto the dough. So I'm just gonna take this and start sifting it on the counter like this. Yep. And we'll take the dough, put it on there, and then we're gonna take some flour and just kind of spread it on here so that it doesn't stick. Like that, and then we'll start rolling it out, and then you can kind of press it down too. You can also press it with your hands as well. And take it, kind of roll it out just until it's flat, kind of like just like a 1/2 inch layer. Okay, so now I have my dough all rolled out, so I'm going to just take a cookie cutter and I'm gonna roll it in some flour so that it doesn't stick to the dough. Kind of like that, and then we're just going to press it in. I'm gonna take that to just as many as I can fit on the dough, and then we're going to take it out and then pull it out of the dough like that, and then we're gonna put it on our cookie sheet and put it in the oven. Okay, so now that I have all of the cookies that I was able to cut out on the dough, I have them on my cookie sheet, and I'm gonna put them in the oven at 375 for 9 minutes. And then with the leftover dough, I'm just gonna keep cutting out as many as I can with the dough, and we'll just keep putting them in the oven and cooking them, and then afterwards we'll let them cool off, and then we'll get to decorating. Okay, so now I have the first batch out of the oven. The rest I have them all cut out, and they're over there cooling off, or they're going through the oven in and out and cooling off. And then once they're all fully cooled off and they're no longer cold or warm, then we will get to decorating them. Okay, so in front of me, I have some of the cookies that I have. They're all fully fully cooled down now, and then I just have some different colored frosting in front of me that I'll be using with some tips on them. You don't have to have those. You can just frost it on with a knife or anything you want to use, and then let's get decorating. And then afterwards, I'll show you what they look like. Okay, so we are all done with decorating, and now we have all of these. So I just used some of the tips to make the piping on the tree and the candy cane and the ornament, and then I just used a knife to spread some frosting on the gingerbread man, and I have this cute little llama down here, so I just make cute little designs on those. So once you have these, now you can just enjoy them and eat them. So I hope you guys learned a little bit of something today, and it was great to teach you how to bake and decorate cookies. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks.